Hello and welcome, and this is the behind the scenes for A Witcher's Guide to Making Friends pilot. To make this short animation, a lot of work went into it, but a lot of it isn't shown, so this is a little video to explain how it was made and who made what. Any good animation starts with an idea. The idea was originally made by Lagio and myself. We had wanted to make a short animation series about the struggles of young adult life that we were both currently struggling with. That was when the idea was created that we would make a fun little story that was lighthearted. We came up with the basic idea of a young witch moving into a new town and struggling to make 100 friends, as it was a lifelong dream of hers. From there, we started making a script. We got our friends Inkley and Geo involved. Inkley helped with characterization, making the characters more unique and have a more strong personality, while Geo helped us with world building, adding lore to it and making it seem more immersive than we originally had it. From there, we reached out to our friend Sheep, who helped with storyboarding the whole script. Once storyboarding was done, that's when everything got a bit more hectic. It had multiple moving parts at the exact same time, so please excuse if things seemed a bit out of order. To show this animation process, I will be showing you a small scene of Cassie and Frit's first meeting. Before I continue, please note that this art style actually belongs to Lagio and is not my current art style. Because it is not my art style, Lagio helped with a lot with re-storyboarding to give me the right proportions for the characters before I went back and edited it myself. She typically gave me 2 or 3 images to work off of for the storyboard chunks that we did. To demonstrate, this is the storyboard chunk that we will be showing. Once Lagio finished redrawing the storyboard, she would send it over to me. From there is where I did a lot of work. I would draw all the keyframes. Keyframes are the main bits of the animation, not including the in-betweens of the motions. Once the keyframes were done, I would then do the in-between bits, sketching it all so that it would look fluid, but it wouldn't be a polished outcome. From there, I would play around with the sketches to make sure everything was fluid. Once I was sure everything looked good in the sketch, I would then start outlining. The outlining took a lot of time, as I wanted it to look very nice and had a polished feel, while also having a bit of a rustic, homely feel to it at the same time. To achieve this outcome, I had to draw every hold frame, which are frames that stay on the screen and not move, 3 times each so I could create the illusion of consistent motion. Once all the outlining was done, I would then play around with it again to make sure everything still looked good. From there, I started coloring. We had these reference sheets for the coloring sections. The coloring section didn't take too long, as I had a strategy to outline everything before filling it in and then coloring each section one at a time through all the frames. In total, there were 29 frames created for this scene specifically. During the whole time that I was animating, I had also reached out to my friends Aspen and Kozzy to voice act the 2 characters. Due to time zones, unfortunately, we were not able to do these voice acting sessions live so I could give live feedback. Instead, I asked them to do multiple takes with different emotives at different times to see what they thought sounded right, as well as give them a bit of creative freedom. This strategy worked very well as giving me multiple bloopers that I could laugh at. Once all the voice lines were in, I started editing it all together. I started by putting all the frames in and timing it to the voice acting. During this, I also asked Lagio if she could create the backgrounds for each of the scenes needed. Lagio also got help with the backgrounds, needing 3D models for certain areas as she wanted a consistent look. And so she reached out to Gia, who happily helped by making 3D models on Blender. And so, with all the elements created, I continued to put everything in together. The backgrounds I wanted to have a Gaussian blur, so that it would not create a focus point in the background if any of the elements were moving, which I had planned for it to have. As you can see, I wanted the background trees to have a slight movement to them, not having a huge focus but adding a little bit of movement. Once all the visuals were done, I started editing the sound effects to go along with it. I realized a few things at this time. 1, I forgot to get some additional voice lines, such as the rambling lady in the train announcing the next stop, and so I reached out to Lagio asking what we should do. She happily said she would voice the rambling lady having an idea for a great scene, while I stepped in and did the train conductor announcing the next station. From there, I also realized I needed certain sound effects for other scenes. So, I looked online for free resources, as well as talking with my friend Gio about it. Gio happily showed that he had a new software that he was dying to try out, and so I tasked him with creating a few small things, such as a little chime for when the train conductor was about to announce the next station. After that, it was just going through everything one more time to make sure everything was smooth, everything sounded right, and nothing was imbalanced. Once that was completed, we were officially done. Though the animation isn't as long as other big animations coming out, we were very happy with the final product. And I just really wanted to thank my whole team for helping me with a lot of this. Without them, I don't think I could have created this all by myself. So thank you, Lagio, Inkly, Gio, Cheap, Cosmic, and Aspen. You guys were a really great hand. Thank you for watching this behind the scenes, and I hope you have an appreciation for what goes into making small animations. This is Darkness, signing off. Until next time.